You skipped! You skipped the first 840 episodes of One Piece? Something like that? 800 something episodes? And then you start doing a channel where you react to One Piece? You're insane! It's insanity! This is the weirdest thing I ever seen. Stop, man! Stop! Stop! EVlog, stop doing One Piece reactions, okay? It's a disgrace, man. It's a disgrace. I did not know this. I knew he was sort of doing One Piece for a few months back. A lot of people told me to check out his latest One Piece reactions I read last week, last Sunday or Saturday. And I freaking lost it. We're gonna check it soon here, but I freaking lost it. I was like, okay, he doesn't know who Doflamingo is, and I'm like, you can't do reactions to One Piece, reviewing One Piece, and being like, who's the flamingo? Like that is insanity. It's the most famous bad guy in One Piece. There's like 100 episodes, more than 100 episodes of this Rosa arc is on Doflamingo, right? So it's like he's by far the most shown bad guy in the anime. And the anime has almost 900 episodes. He skipped the first at least 800 episodes. It's unfathomable. It's like if you skip. It's like if you watch Harry Potter, you only watch the last movie. You don't see all the other movies. Then you sit there in the last movie like, I don't understand what they're fighting for, or like, why is this guy evil, or I don't feel like they're really motivating the characters or something. Like, it doesn't make any goddamn sense, and it's just like I have seen. I mean, there are different reps. I feel are good, some are bad, some are worse. But I never heard about anyone skipping over basically a whole anime, just watching the last episode. And especially in One Piece. Talking about One Piece here. This is one of the most long-going animes, shows ever in the history of mankind. It's almost 900 episodes. We're getting up to a really high number right now. And in his latest reaction, you can see he skipped over all the episodes pretty much, up to like the latest 10 or something, 20 episodes. And then he's like, how the hell, man? And it hasn't even like read up what happened in between. But it doesn't even matter. It's just insanity. And I feel this really is a disgrace. And honestly, as a One Piece fan myself, I'm insulted. Like, this person insults me. Like, I am literally insulted by this. Like, I feel personally attacked. I know this sounds crazy, but let me explain why, right? So One Piece, of course, one of the best, if not the best manga ever done. I personally think it's the best manga ever done. I would always have that, yeah. Sword, of course, best character. No, sorry, Doffy best character. But yeah, one of the most long-running, best-selling mangas ever. So obviously, at least on the popularity, we have to say, yeah, it's the best-selling manga at least. Very famous, of course. But also been going over 20 years, right? And this guy, he skips the first 20 years and goes into the last 21 years, that's 2 years. It's just crazy. I have never heard something that's even close to this in parallel when someone just skips over everything else and goes to the last thing, right? I mean, there are stuff you can do, like for fantasy. You can play Fantasy 15. Each game is a standalone game. You can play that. You can watch something like a Donald Duck thing, Disney shows, but they kind of are like episodic episodes. Doesn't really matter so much if you see the first 100 episodes. But One Piece, as many other manga animes, is a progressive story, right? You start from the first island, and then you go on, right? And characters, especially in One Piece, for characters like Doflamingo, has been built up for 10 years before we get his final arc. There's also arc, which is an amazing, I love this arc. And a character then that's been so built up for so many years. So the fans have been theorizing and been loving, talking about and so on. And we get that arc in over 100 episodes, longer in the anime than in the manga. It's an amazing long arc, regardless if you like it or not. It's really, really long. And if you then don't know who he is, you clearly didn't know anything about One Piece, right? So it is embarrassment. It's an embarrassment to sit there doing reviews and reactions to something, and you clearly know nothing we're talking about. And I feel it's a disgrace. And also, again, it feels like an insult to me as a fan. I feel to anyone else as a fan, because the way there's several issues here, but one issue that I really feel is true is that, you know, when I do a review of something, of course it's not, but when someone does a review of One Piece, I think there are a lot of great One Piece guys out there, right? That love One Piece. I assume that they're all really loving the fan. I assume they're loving the storyline, the characters, so on, as I do. And if I ever met them, and I take a drink with me, sit down and talk about One Piece, we can talk for hours about One Piece. That is my perspective, right? If you ever meet me on the street and you want to talk One Piece, of course you can do that, yeah. And I think people know, at least with me, that I'm genuinely in love with One Piece. Otherwise I would cosplay as Doflamingo like 3 times at events and so on, and I wouldn't cosplay as Zoro and so on. I wouldn't cosplay as the character. Obviously I love One Piece, right? And I used to have a cosplay blog or something, whatever. But I think you genuinely know that if you talk to me, I'm gonna know all the characters' names. I'm gonna know pretty much all the chapters, the story perfectly. I'm gonna remember all of that stuff, and I'm gonna know about Goemon, all the small stuff. And I think it would be fine, honestly, if you have a guy does a review and if he gets like, oh, who's Goemon, like, or like, oh, Shaska, yeah. I think that's fine because like 900 chapters, more than 944 chapters. I think that's fine if you don't remember exactly every name of each character. But Doflamingo is the biggest bad guy in the show, man. It's like not knowing what Darth Vader is. It's like watching Star Wars episode, you know, the latest episode or the 7, 8, right? I want to spoil them, but Kylo Ren and Darth Vader and so on. And when you see Kylo Ren with the Darth Vader thing, you're like, who is this Darth Vader that Kylo Ren likes? Like, Kylo Ren seems to be really interested in this Darth Vader, but I have no idea who that is. That is relevant what he's doing here, right? He has absolutely no idea who the most popular bad guy is in One Piece that had more than 100 episodes. You take it into perspective, right? Most shows are at 100 episodes. Yeah, most shows are like 12, 20, you know, one season, 26, 25 episodes. Most shows are like that. Many animes are only like 2 episodes, some are like 25 and 6, right? And not just animes, but TV shows. Some are several seasons. Some are, you know, like maybe like 2 and then they get cancelled. But in One Piece, we have more than 100 episodes of this guy being the central bad guy on his island. 100 episodes. It's like the most well-dedicated shows to one bad guy. And he's reappearing and so on before that for several episodes during the Marineford War and so on, during the different meetings, it's been built up for years, right? So he's a character with like, I don't know, 120, 35 on all total episodes, probably more than that. And it's just ridiculous. And not knowing that, and it's again, it's not knowing who the Vader is, or Voldemort, which should be the name, whatever, right? Take any popular, yeah, I know, but I mean, this is the biggest manga and anime in history in sales numbers, right? So it is absurd. And I feel it's like an insult to me as a person. But we check it out here. We can see his clip here, and it drives me crazy. It really drives me crazy seeing it. Like I mean, it's like, how can this be? How can this be? Let's move it over here, yeah. So he's gonna like he says something like, "Who is this character? I don't know his name." And it's like, "Yeah, you have never seen One Piece then." So let's go here. So it's a classic Doflamingo laughter, yeah. I probably get claimed now by Toei, but yeah.
I forgot the name of this character.
I forgot the name of this character! I forgot the name of this character. You have not seen One Piece, man. This is a disgrace. And almost every comment in the whole, almost every comment on this video is like, you are disgraced, stop watching One Piece. And I totally agree. And yes, again, normally I wouldn't do kind of videos. Normally I drama like that. But it's just absurd. The people have... Like, people compare to me sometimes, like, oh, how can you not cry at this scene? I'm like, I don't know, this character didn't really mean that much to me. Not that I do cry a lot, right? And with some animes I cry so much for. People are like, how can you cry now? Like, but yes, I love this character, yeah. So, you know, you can always discuss people of the opinion is a good bad character, and so on. But sitting there and being like, I don't even know who the biggest bad guy is of the show is. It's like, what the fuck, man? What's wrong with you, man? It's embarrassing, but... It's like almost one thing I feel about this whole thing, and again I mentioned 100 episodes and so on, but I also feel it's like it's personally insulting to me. I'm not even joking. I feel it's personally insulting to me. It must be a little dramatic now and then, but I think a lot of people feel the same way because it's like Doflamingo is, and this is not my opinion, but I've checked out the polls. He actually is, again, he is the most popular bad guys. If you go and check the latest poll of the voting, people that vote for the favorite character, he is the #1 bad guy in the polls. He is the highest rated bad guy of people's pool. In that sense, the most popular character. He's the most popular bad guy. He just beat the Crocodile by like one or but just beat Crocodile. But still, he is the most popular bad guy. Crocodile is the second most popular character in the latest pool. And in the pool before that it was the reverse. Crocodile was the most popular and he was second most popular. So he's always been very, very popular for the latest years. After his own arc, he got really popular, right? And even before, he was like one of the top popular characters. And we can all say it's a better character, is there another character that is more popular than him and so on, or people wrong and so on. But at least we have to agree on that he is by far one of the most well-recognized, most welcome, popular bad guys, right, in One Piece. And I think one thing you have to say too, and even if you're ignoring the people's opinion about it, he has the most story. He is the bad guy with the most flashback, and his last flashback, and it's so much story on him that he's actually, by far, I would say, the most developed bad guy even if you don't like his story and so, I think everyone can agree on that. I mean, people that I meet, they either usually have him, Eneru, or Crocodile as one of the 3 favorite main characters, as a bad guy. Usually, I think almost everyone says that. Some like Blackbeard more, but it's very rare. I would say, honestly, I'll say so. And people then say, oh, Crocodile like him more than Doflamingo. Then you usually have him as second most popular character. And almost everyone I talk to agrees on that. Well, Crocodile I like more, but Doflamingo's backstory is the best written as well. I think it's the most very established as well. I think everyone's like, yeah, Doflamingo. I really remember his backstory. Killing his own father, seeing his mother die. I mean, it's a spoiler, yes, it's a dragon thing. He has also the most, storylines. He has the bad guy that has the most bearing on like the grand world and his planning with Kaido and Caesar and the smart thing right now in the manga. I don't want to spoil it, it's not a spoiler video, this is just anime only here, but yeah, like there's so much stuff with him in the smile. Still a relevant character in the manga. In the latest chapter of the manga, he's still relevant. And the last chapter, we saw him again, okay? He's still relevant, not a big spoiler, but he was there again, yeah. For a bit there. So that's how relevant he is. He's one of the most absolutely most relevant bad guys. And again, the bad guy I think had most pages and so on. And this is if you include this Rosa as his story. So to not know him, you have to honestly either be mentally have some memory issues, right? Honestly, like because again, I think it's fine if you. It's so many episodes of One Piece. I honestly think it's fine if you don't know every supportive side character's name. But if you don't know Doflamingo, it's crazy. But the problem here, though, still for me, and why it's so offensive in a way, well, actually it's an insult. Why, seriously, EVlog, stop doing this. You are embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing. You really are insulting every One Piece fan. It's because on a personal level, right? Again, he is the most popular bad guy. So there's a lot of people that are invested in One Piece. I am one of them, and a lot of other people are into One Piece, right? A lot of people are like, One Piece is the best shit ever. Best manga, best anime, I wouldn't say best anime, but best manga in my opinion, is the best manga ever. And even if you don't agree on that, and I don't think EVlog against the I don't that is so fake too, I don't he for a second cannot agree on that this is the best manga anime ever, that he would actually, go through it, right? So that is bullshit. He wouldn't even know, he hasn't seen it, yeah, he wouldn't even know, right? But regardless of what he has clicked on, honestly, even though it's obviously a faker, it's an insult, right? Because it is weird to not know who the most popular bad guy is, beloved by the fans, beloved by so many people in the world, and it's one thing to sit there, and being like, oh, I review movies, I don't know anything about anime. That's fine, right? That's not an insult, yeah, it's not an insult. That's not fine. But if you sit there and do anime reviews, and you don't know anything about One Piece, it's kind of weird. Even at that limit, it's kind of weird. How can you not know anything about One Piece, the biggest stuff ever? And you're doing like Rebo stuff, you're doing otaku stuff, you don't know anything about One Piece. That's crazy. It's a crazy evil. That's crazy, man. That's just like you have to know about One Piece, man. And then it's like, well, okay, fine, maybe you don't, right? And then you get into stuff like, but you are reviewing and reacting to One Piece, and you don't know the names of the biggest bad guy. That is, again, I feel personally insulted by it. I seriously do so. Not because I love Doflamingo so much, but I feel it'd be the same thing if you were sitting there and say like, I don't know what Crocodile is, I don't know who Viper is. It would also be like, stop reviewing freaking One Piece if you don't know who Viper is. Like, you have nothing to say about the manga anime, and it feels like the biggest shield in the world, man. It feels like the biggest money-hungry shield in the world. Obviously, I don't do this stuff because of money. I never had, that I wouldn't even do anime manga to begin with. I would say that though. If you want to make money, you shouldn't even do anime and so on to begin with. This better stuff to react to and review and so on, right? It's falling down here. But yeah, there's better stuff to do and so on. There's better stuff to do. But even in this market flame, that this dominion, this domain, you would be like, well, this is so clearly fake. This is the biggest shield I've ever seen in my life. It's the biggest shield I've ever seen in my life. I've seen other people take money for stuff, during the years, but this is like, I've skipped the first 840 episodes, and I'm now watching episodes. I think it started with Katakuri, yeah. He skipped everything up to Katakuri. It's insanity! It is insanity! And it's like, what are you doing, man? And of course, all the videos, it shows everything, right? It's completely not fair use. It shows everything. It's breaking. It's surprisingly 2 has to take him down yet, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if it happens in the future. Not per se I want it or not, because I think that's like whatever, but because they are also, of course, wrong in many stuff they are doing. But I'll say he really shows everything, right? And with no editing and nothing. And it's like, that I have to honestly assume it's the only reason people watch him. It cannot be because he actually has a kind of relevant One Piece takes, right? I guess it's relevant is that he's the only person that's like reacting to something. He has no idea what's happening. He's the most, you know, god awful. Like, I'm watching this anime here. I skipped the first 840 episodes, so this is like my fresh take. It's super blind, yeah, blind reacting to something. I guess it's unique in that sense. But every comment on this video is like, you're a fake One Piece fan. Stop doing this. So, and I completely agree. But really, it feels insulting. Like, it really feels so, to me personally. I think everyone feels the same way when you hear about this guy. Because it's like, if you're into something, whatever, it's like Harry Potter and so on as well, right? And if someone would review Harry Potter and they haven't read the first books, right? Only the read book or the last movie and so on. They only see the last movie of Harry Potter. And then, again, as I mentioned earlier, sit there and be like, I didn't really like this movie. It was pretty bad based on not having like this thing and this thing and this thing. And you're like, but that was explained in the previous movies that exist in the storyline. You can't like add that as a complaint, right? That would be insane if someone did that. And that's kind of what he's doing. But well, he does even more shit in my opinion, where he's just like, oh, this is awesome, this is awesome. He just that like brainless. Honestly, he just does that thing. He has no what's happening. He's like, yeah, this is so hype. He's only does that thing, right? So he doesn't even dare to, say anything negative. He sits there and like, oh, this is so good, this guy's so good. I love this character. Yeah, he's so fake. He's the worst Piece fake ever. But anyway, I mean, if you want to do One Piece reaction vlog, there's a lot of One Piece that are out there. They do One Piece reaction reviews and one, but they're going for episode 1, man. And you of course can just watch it without having to react to it. But you cannot sit there because it is an insult to anyone that likes One Piece. And this would be, as I mentioned, it would be the same for anything. It would be if you don't know what Crocodile Weapon and so on, and it would be the same for any other kind of, big, long franchise. Naruto, if you sit there and suddenly start watching Naruto episode like 450, you're like, who is this black-haired guy that Naruto is fighting? Naruto is fighting this black-haired guy. Yeah, I think his name is like Sasuke. It's kind of, I don't know why they hate each other, but that's kind of interesting. Like, if you were doing that, people would be like, what the hell are you doing, man? Watch the freaking episode. You can't just jump into the last battle of the freaking Naruto either. It wouldn't make any sense, right? It would be insane. And it would be a massive insult to anyone that likes the Naruto. They're sitting here and like profiting on, clickbait things for Naruto. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. So anyway, stop embarrassing yourself. You probably won't see this thing, but because he's clearly, I mean, honestly, I'm willing to debate or whatever, but I think it's clear here. He's 100% in for the money, right? And that's what I mean, right? If you meet me on the street, always talking about the anime. I mean, I go out and I have this kind of shirt on me in real life. I really do. People think I'm joking, but I go out with my anime shirt on me, with like my Hego shirt on me, not because I'm like, yeah, look at me, I like freaking anime, yeah, but because what happened last time I was at this big game party for game developers 2 weeks ago, and I didn't know so many people there. I knew like 10 people or so, but it's a big party. So I just took on one of my anime shirts from me, like not this one, but like another one. And I went there on purpose, kind of peacocking my anime nerdness. And the guy's like, oh man, you watch anime. How much do you like Dororo? And he talking to me, right? So then I could talk to that guy for a few hours, yeah. So of course I did it on purpose because I knew I don't know some people there. I'm gonna go there anyway, make some content, get some business cards, so on, right? I got some business cards, yeah. Yeah, so have to do that, right? Just for my career and so on. But I want to have some fun, right? So going there as an anime guy, people will come up and talk to me. Oh, you like the anime? I love this anime. Oh yeah, so on. And that's really fun, right? And I love that. So that's why I kind of peacock my otaku-ness around me, because I wanted to bash about it. And but even if you see me in real life, right, but I don't have this on me, of course, I will always, when I want to talk about anime and manga and movies and so on, Marvel comics as well and so on. Yeah, of course. And I really feel that this guy, you could meet him and be like, oh, have you read One Piece? How do you think about Orochi? He's like, Orochi, who's that? Like, how do you think about Kaido? Kaido, who's that? You're like, Whitebeard. Like, Big Mom. It's like, Big Mom. Is it a kind of curious mom? It's like, God damn it, man. Yeah, that's what I feel. It's the worst shilling fake ever seen in my life. And seeing that he didn't even know the name of Doflamingo and DONQUIXOTE, that is an embarrassment. Because in every sense of the way, as I mentioned several times now, but in every sense of the way, he's the bad guy with the most story. He's the bad guy with the most episodes. He's the bad guy that's the most popular bad guy right now in One Piece. I'm not saying that he's gonna be the best bad guy in the end. I mean, I would love if Oda had other bad guys that even better stories. Maybe he won't, because I really love the family. It's extremely well written. He's the perfect bad guy. So I have a hard time seeing Oda actually beating himself there with Doflamingo, in my opinion. But he's perfect. My God, Doflamingo is so well written. But still though, I hope he does it, man. I hope he does it. But at this current moment in time, he's the most popular guy, and if you're gonna do One Piece videos or so and not know who the most popular guy is, that is an embarrassment, right? I mean, it's one thing if you do react like one episode 1, 2, and 3, and you're working your way up there, that's one thing. But if you're doing current episode and not knowing the most popular character behind that's pissing in the face of everyone that goes to your video and thinking you have an actual valid opinion, which you don't. You don't have a valid opinion about One Piece because you have never seen One Piece. And that's not saying that you can't get an opinion, a valid opinion of One Piece, but you have to actually do the effort and actually watch each episode, right? You can't just go in there, watch the last episode of 800 episodes, and then still be like, oh, here's my opinion about the episode. But that's bullshit, man. As I mentioned with any other movie, franchise, and so on, right? It would be insane if someone had skipped all their parts and then complaining about some character development missing, some no backstory. I mean, it would be the same thing like, if you watch One Piece right now, you were like, I don't understand why this guy want to be Pirate King. That's what he is, right? He has never seen any flashback of any character. He's like Bruce flashback. He hasn't seen Luffy, Nami, so he has no idea why anyone in the anime right now is motivated to do it now. And funny enough, right now we always review, right? So I guess he gets a lot of flashback now. He actually learned some stuff now about the anime, but he has no, emotional connection to like Vivi, Shirahoshi, Rebecca and so on. He has no Dalton, Leo, Sai. He has no connection to that. Ask me, I can name every freaking character in One Piece. I know people every character's name in One Piece, how they look, the fighting power, everything from chapter 1. This guy couldn't even tell you who Vivi is, right? He couldn't tell you who Dalton is either and so on. It's just ridiculous. It's absurd ridiculous. And I didn't even know that. Like I saw him getting a lot of hate all the time in the mashup reactions, which I am also usually part of that, and people take those videos, sometimes allowed, sometimes I guess, yeah, that's a long order story, right? But I see that, and I read it at that moment, the first 2-3 times, I was like, I'm a little embarrassed being in the same video as this guy, because he's so clueless. He's so clueless. But I was like, man, maybe he's just like a really, casual guy. He's watched all the episode, watched the episode every now and then. I have a lot of friends that watch One Piece, over the years, because it's so old, right? But they watched it for like 10 plus years. And they watch it every now and then, and they kind of like, I forgot about the name and so on. Like, maybe he's that kind of guy, but then you probably shouldn't do like a video. You should probably do a review about it then, because you really aren't really, up to part, right, to do videos about it, in my opinion, anyway. But, okay, like a casual reaction guy. But then when I got the last, people linked me in the last video, I'm like, here's no Doflamingo. This guy is freaking moronic, yeah, to the max. Like, what the hell are you doing, man? And then I read some comments on the video, and I asked some people that I know that follow us both and so on, and they were like, "This guy, he has watched like a 10-minute, 15-minute recap video, 15-minute recap of 800 episodes. Just picture how stupid that is. Honestly, it's one of the dumbest things I heard in my life. 800 episodes or plus in 15 minutes." Okay, One Piece anime has been a bad pacing after a while there in the anime, but especially now, it's horrible pacing. But I mean, 15 minutes to like, I don't even know how many minutes One Piece is, but it's like 22 minutes per episode. So that's like, 20 times 800, right? Which is 16,000, 160,000. Yeah, it's like 800, yeah. It's just like, what? How do they want to do the math? How? Let's do the math. Okay, last thing here. Let's do the math. How many percentage? 50 minutes. Okay, so let's say it's with let's ignore opening and so on. So 800 times 20, and then we take, 15 divided by that. Yeah, we're gonna see 800 times 20. I think that's fair because we're talking about opening and endings. Almost like 16. Yeah, 600,000. So take that 16,000. We take 15 divided by that. Okay, this is the percentage that he watched One Piece now. Okay, so it's obviously less than 1%. It is 2, 3, 4 zeros, 9. Okay, so it's like 1/10,000 part of One Piece. Yeah, it's like if you take it all the direction, you might get a more reasonable number. Exactly. Yeah. It's like 1100. It's like 1070 part of One Piece. It's less than 1000 part of One Piece it was before that. It's like, is this unfathomable? I never heard about anything like it. I've heard people say oh, I skipped the filler arcs. And that's like, well, Navarro is really good. Yeah, I skipped some filler arcs. And I'm like, well, there are some of them are bad. That's fine. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And I even heard people say, I skipped this arc. Kind of. I can speed read this arc because I didn't like that the long island. I actually loved it, though. Whatever. I'm like, that's not really fine, but okay, yeah. But this is like, oh, I watched like not even 1,000, not even less than 1,000 part of One Piece samurai in the time span at least. Oh, it's insane! It is insane. So anyway, stop it, EVlog. Stop it. I'm seriously. I don't know why. Okay, whatever. Subscribe, press the like button, right? Follow me in the channel and so to Discord and that. I don't know how to do more videos like this. Usually. I don't want to do like drama videos too much. I say that even though I kind of love them as well, doing drama, attacking people's horrible opinions, and I think it's completely fine, right? I'm extremely free, you know, how to say it, free speech advocate. So I'm like, well, if you have a horrible opinion online or whatever, that's an official thing you're doing. You're dropping out on the internet. I have the right to, you know, fair use to complain about it, right? And in one way, I love doing that. It's not about things like, nah, I don't know, I'm a nerd. That's why I'm talking about One Piece to say how good it is. Yeah. I also but I want to be positive on the internet. But at the same time, when I saw this thing, I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've seen this year. This is literally the dumbest thing I've seen this year. And I worked at a company that used up like 10 million. I don't know, but they spent. That is another video, but I worked at a company that like wasted 10 million for nothing, and then they bought like Twitch streamers that did negative PR for the company and for the game, and they lost like millions, just like $1 million in like 2 weeks on that, and they just got bad PR. And that, in my opinion, was obviously factually incredibly bad. Like that was just insanely bad. And those people that ordered that, and I was like, yes, of course, and I was like, this is insane, let's do this thing. They did it anyway, it cost the whole company, and I was like, this is insane. Yeah, those people are smart in this guy. Honestly, I stood by that. Yeah, that was the dumbest thing I've seen in years. But this thing is dumber. You cannot skip freaking 800 episodes. And again, it's also an insult to anyone who's a fan of One Piece or any other anime. It's an insult to fandoms. It's the same thing if anyone again, right, would review the next Star Wars movie. They haven't seen all the movies before. It's insane. And it would be like, and you know, oh, and especially if they're like, I love Star Wars. Like, you love Star Wars. If you love Star Wars, you would get out, man. Freaking watch. If you want to do One Piece, that's fine. But watch all the episodes before. It's not harder than that. Just put freaking effort in and watch episode 1 to 800 rated. Yes. Yeah, I guess you can skip. Actually, no, honestly, in my opinion, he should watch all episodes. When you get to the, but he actually started, kind of Q, I think, sorry, he should watch that again, right? When he actually has that. The information in his brain what happened before, so it makes more sense to him. You should actually rewatch that, right? But actually having the information. Anyways, I said everything I can. I'll whine about it long enough now. But yeah, he watched less than 1,000 in a minute wise of One Piece. It is insane. I never heard it so dumb this year. I probably will hear dumber stuff, of course, in my life. And I heard, man, maybe it's one of the dumb. This one is unfathomably. It's unfathomably moronic. That's my opinion about it. Leave a comment below also if you want to see more of me going after people that are absolute chill. I think he's the biggest chill ever, probably. Yeah, thot chill, right? Yeah, thot chill, yeah. If I ever seen one, male thot chilling, absolutely. He's sitting there, showing the whole video, he's flexing his muscle. His opinion has absolutely no value. There's no intelligence behind it at all. There's no substance what he's saying at all, right? Because you know he has no information what's happening. He has no understanding what he's seeing on the screen. And I honestly stand by that. How could you? In something that is one of the longest ongoing shows in history of mankind, right? We're not talking about like, oh, I missed the first episode of this new TV show, and that's up episode 2, I watched it one day. We're talking the first 800 plus episodes, right? Again, insanity. Anyways, that's all for me. See you guys tonight with Fairy Tail.